Hey guys, it's Licious Kid from ClimaxCombo, and we're back with another Leaks of the Week. This week we're continuing off with the Girlfriend Beta Booster Pack, the Shining Resonance Booster Pack, and the Attack on Titan Booster Pack. I believe Girlfriend Beta is coming out this Friday on the 24th, and then next week Shining Resonance is coming out in JP, and then Attack on Titan is coming out first in the US. So yeah, just those three sets, but a lot of interesting cards this week, so it will probably be another long video, so sit tight and let's get to it. So first of all is a 3/2 10k R Amari Akari 2 soul, just an R, which is cool. Her trait is Girl. What she does is when she's played from hand to stage, you get to heal, and she climax combo with the Wind Trigger right here. When she attacks with the Wind Trigger, you can search your deck for up to one Girl character, which is the entire series. Show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, shuffle your deck, and then this card gains plus 1500 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. This card synergizes with this backup here, so I'll go over this backup first. It's a 2/1, 2k, it's an R, and her trait is Girl and Animal. First of all, she's just a 3k backup. And once again, this card also combos with the Wind Trigger here. When you play the Wind Trigger, you may make pay cost, which is pay 1, and return the backup to your hand. If you do, choose one of the level 3 in your hand and place it to where she was. So obviously, as you can see, this is a changer into the level 3 Amari Akari. It's a bit different from the changers though, because when you do change into the level 3 must be in your hand, unlike other changers where they're usually in your waiting room. However, you know, this isn't really anything special. We've seen changers like this, but do keep in mind you need to have the level 3 in your hand when you do change, which isn't bad because the level 3, her on play only works when she's played from hand to stage, so you know she does get to heal. Where do I begin with this? I guess overall, this I think this little combo is pretty strong, especially if you get it off at level 2. Do keep in mind you do have to be running the dual color variant that they're trying to push with this booster pack, because the 2/1 is red. Yes, it's a backup, and usually they don't follow the backup or the color ruling, but do keep in mind the backup does need to be on the stage for you to change. So yes, you do need to be running the dual color yellow-red for this combo to work. So you play the level 2, or you play the backup, and that's one stock. And when you play the climax, that's one card in your hand, and then you pay another one, so in total you're paying 2, and you're returning the level 2 back to your hand, and then you play the level 3 from your hand. So overall you pay 2, you only paid 2, and then you lost one card in your hand because, you know, the Wind Trigger is a minus. However, when you attack with the level 3, then you get to search for a character, so you do break even. So so you do get to break even, and you get to search for any character, so of course that allows you to, you know, get whatever you need in that situation, or allow you to prepare for the future level. And she gets plus 15 until the end of your opponent's next turn, so she'll most likely stick around with that extra power boost, which is really nice. And yeah, if you have another Wind Trigger in your hand, you know, rinse and repeat, or since when it's your turn again, you know, you can kill things and just try to get a lot of advantage off this. So overall, I do like this climax combo a lot because it's really light on the resource. It's a lot lighter than other 2 to 3 changers, like other 2 to 3 climax phase changes are usually, you know, you pay 3 total and then you discard a card because you pay 1 for the changer, you pay 2 in your climax phase and you discard a card. You know how that goes. So this one is cheaper, a little more difficult to do because you do have to keep the level 3 in your hand. However, I don't think it's that hard at all. So I personally like this climax combo a lot. I think it's really cost effective, and I'm all about that. However, you know, Girlfriend Beta has a lot of powerful level 3s, especially in yellow. They have the level 3 we saw last week. They have the level 3 that can come out at level 2 if you have a full field of yellow. And you have the level 3 Musashi. And you have the level 3 that combos with the Wind Trigger in the previous booster that also had a 2 to 3 change that also healed. And that, however, that one was a flare trigger. When it attacked and the damage was cancelled, then you get to burn 1. So yeah, a lot of powerful level 3s for in yellow already. I'm sure there's a couple more that I'm missing just because the set is so huge. However, like I said, a lot of powerful level 3s in Girlfriend Beta, especially in yellow. So this one does have some pretty tough competition, and if it will make the cut, I'm not too sure. Like I said, I like it, but I don't know. It's just pretty hard to compete with those other level 3s. And this is a climax combo. And if you're running yellow red, you might be, you may as well run a couple gates. Even the mono yellow variants in the previous booster ran like 4 gates sometimes, so they could combo with the level 3 Chloe. So the climax lineup might be a little tight, especially if you're running yellow. You still have the level 1 that comboed with the stock 1 soul that allowed you to search for a yellow character when you did reverse something. So a lot of powerful climax combos already. So if this one will make the cut, who knows. And also there's another powerful win trigger in the previous booster that I just said, the one that on attack when the damage is cancelled you have to burn 1. So a lot of powerful level 3s like I said, and if this one will make the cut, I'm not too sure. I like it a lot and I think it's good, but those other level 3s, man, they're just really good too. So I'm not too sure. I'm not a girlfriend beta player, so I can't really make the call. Like, I think this is good, but those other climax combos and those other level 3s are really good. And in my opinion, I think the other ones are better than this one. So I personally don't think this will be ran. I think the other ones are better, but I could be wrong, and I wouldn't be too surprised if this was gonna be ran. But like I said, I do think the other level 3s that Girlfriend Beta already has is really good, and the climax lineup is already pretty tight. So I don't think this combo will make the cut. However, just for an R, you can't complain. I mean, for an R, it's pretty damn good, and this is only an R, and so everything here is just R, R, and climax rare. So if you buy a couple boxes, I'm sure you could make a separate deck with these level 3 as your engine. Who knows? But overall, for an R, I think it's really good. But if it will make the cut for like the main cookie cutter standard top tier decks, I think the other ones are better. But I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think. And on to Shining Resonance, we have the 002KR. She's Music and Dragon. What she does is when this card declares an attack, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a music or dragon, add it to your hand, then discard a card. We've seen cards like these, throughout other series, and it's nothing special, but it's not bad either. So yeah, totally player's preference. I don't know if Shining Resonance has a problem with discarding cards. If Shining Resonance can't really manage to discard climaxes very well, then of course this card should be pretty good. However, if they can't easily discard climaxes, then I guess this card is not as good, but definitely not a bad card. It's a good hand filter, and yeah, not staple at all in my opinion. Totally player's preference, but overall it's a pretty solid card, and you can't go wrong adding 1 or 2 into your deck. And the art is really damn cute, so you should be running a couple if you're running this set, because you can't say no to that. Anyways, let's go on. 002K common, this weird chicken thing, bird thing. It's music and spirit, so that's good. He at least still has the music trait, so he can synergize with the other cards. But what he does is you can put 2 of your characters to rest. If you do, choose one of your music or dragons, and it gets plus 2k until the end of the turn. Just like the last card we saw, we've seen this card around. Nothing too special, but not bad either. If you want to run 1 or 2 of this guy, go ahead. Not bad. You can tap your back row when you're not using it for the turn, and give a character plus 2k to guarantee a kill or force a backup. So overall, not a bad tech card. If you want to run 1 or 2, then go for it. Anyways, let's go on to Tuesday. Excuse me, I don't know if you guys heard that burp. But anyways, Tuesday, 00500 double R, girl and swimsuit, Haruko. What she does is she's a level 0 suicider, and she has another effect of when she's played from stage to waiting room, you can pay cost, which is 2. Then select one of your character cards in your waiting room and add it to your hand. This card I think is pretty meh, especially when compared to I think this card is meh because Girlfriend Beta already has 2 other suiciders. So the other 2 suiciders they have is the 00 stock suicider in yellow in the previous booster that had the other optional ability of paying 1 to give a yellow character plus 1500 power, if I recall correctly. Was it 1k? Or was it 15? I think it was 15, so I'm going to go with that. But it gave plus 1500 power. And they had the other level 0 red Suicider in the previous booster that also had another ability where you can pay 1 to choose an opponent's character in the front row and put it to the waiting room. So this card, I don't think is as good as the other two Suiciders because first of all, she's super low power. She's 500 power. And yes, level 0 Suiciders, you don't really expect them to last. When you play them, you usually expect them to die. Either you trade with them or you force a trade. But I think, at least having 1500 power or 2k power, sometimes that allows you to net a kill on your opponent's character. Like if your opponent doesn't have anything turn 1 or even anything turn 2, they might like play a 500 assist in the front just to gain stock so they don't have to discard, what have you. Sometimes they just have a weak character on the field in the front row. And when they do, you can play like something like a 1500 power Suicider, kill it, and then if the level 0 Suicider survives, then your opponent is forced to deal with that level 0 Suicider either by trading with it or, whatever means they have. Usually it kind of forces a 2-for-1 if your level 0 Suicider does manage to kill a level 0 and survive, which is really nice. However, this Haruko doesn't really have... She can't really do that because she has the weakest power possible in the game, only 500. You can't get any lower than that. Well, I guess if you do, you die. But, so she's too weak, so she can't really ever force a situation like that. And her secondary ability, it's not bad. However, I think the other level 0 Suicider has a better ability. The one where you can pay 1 to kill a level 0 in your opponent's front row. I think that one's really good. Especially with how many level 0 runners are, coming out. A lot of new series, and even like, Love Live now, which is pretty good, has a level 0 Suicider, or I'm sorry, a level 0 runner. And having those level 0s that can pay 1, kill a level 0 in your opponent's front row, becomes all that much more valuable. So, and that one isn't 500 power, so, I think the other Suiciders are better than this one. So, unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of this level 0 Suicider. It's not bad by any means, but I do think the other two are better. But, level 0 Suiciders, when your set has a lot of level 0 Suiciders, it's totally up to the player what you want to run, because the secondary abilities aren't totally game-breaking. They're not going to lose you the game. I mean, they might, but most of the time it's not game-breaking or anything. So, you can totally run what you want, but in my personal opinion, I think this one isn't as good as the other two Suiciders. So, yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. And she's double R. Like, man, that sucks. Having a Suicider that's double R when your set already has two other really good Suiciders. Like, what's up with that, man? That's so unnecessary. Anyways, let's go on. More Girlfriend Beta. This one is a 1045 double R. Her trait is Girl and Police. She combos with this stock 1 soul. So choose a character in your choose a blue card in your waiting room, put it to your stock, and all your characters gain +1 soul. So combos with the stock 1 soul, and she has 2 effects. So when she attacks, and you have the stock 1 soul in your climax zone, all your characters gain +2k. All your blue characters gain +2k until the end of your opponent's turn. So the power does stay, which is pretty good. And she has another effect of when this card declares an attack, and you have the stock 1 soul. This card gains the following ability, where if this card battling opponent is reversed, so you can search your deck for up to 1 blue character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Once again, the stock 1 soul is Climax rare. I think this card is really good. So first of all, like I said in previous videos, a lot of powerful decks have these very cost-effective level 1 Climax combos that are either free or only cost 1, and they get to search your deck for characters or something else. A good example is the Shimikaze from Contact Collection, the Little Busters Dean from Little Busters, of course. SAO's got the Asuna Wind combo. Fate Stay Night has the level 1 Shiro combo, and Nisekoi has the Tachibana combo. So, those sets are pretty strong, and, they all have this level 1 cost-effective Climax combo. So it's not really a coincidence because, trust me, it's really good. So this Kokomi follows that trend. And, like, what the heck? Girlfriend Beta already had something like this. They had the stock 1 soul Climax combo in yellow. But I guess that one costed 1, so they were like, that's not good enough. We need to have something totally free. So they made this bitch. But I think this is really good because when she attacks, all your blue characters gain plus 2k until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you can pretty much think of her as a 1065 when you do climax combo. So it's kind of like a 1065, but of course only when you climax combo. And when you do kill something, you get to search for a blue character and add it to your hand. 1065, not the strongest, and of course in backup range when you're fighting against an opponent's level 1 most of the time. Of course this is depending on your own personal back row as well. But if your opponent has a couple lingering level 0s on the field, then you can of course kill that easily with this 1-0. And if you have multiple 1-0s and you use them in conjunction with each other, then you can start getting a lot of value off of them. Like having 2 of these at level 1 isn't that hard to do at all. Trust, it's not very hard to have 2 of these level 1s in your hand by level 1. So if you have like 2 of these at level 1 and you have 1 of these, then you can kind of go to town. You can play them both, and they're both completely stock costless. You play the stock 1 soul. She hopefully she manages to kill something and she'll be a 1065. Then the second one attacks and then once again pumps all your other characters again, and then the second one will be like a 1085. And if you have a third one, then that one's like a 1010-5, so that one's definitely going to kill something. The second one will probably kill something, and the first one may not kill something depending on what you have. But even like if you just have 1, you can try to kill something pretty weak, which hopefully your opponent will have, and you can plus and just go from there. I mean, this is a 1065 on offense, and the 10 Tachibana is 105k, and when she attacks with the gate, she's only 106k. Not that high power, but still super good. Like it may not sound that high power as like, oh, it can get backup, but when you do play it yourself, you will find the opportunities to do so where it's like guaranteed a lot of the times. So this is 1065, which is even better, and when you have multiple of them, it gets that much better, and the power stays until the end of your opponent's next turn, or until the end of your opponent's turn, so it will be difficult for your opponent to get rid of them, or they will have to use some other means to get rid of them. And do keep in mind, like I said, these 1-0 climax combos that do plus you, sometimes they are dependent on reversing your opponent's character, much like Nisekoi. So let's say you hit level 1 first, you play a couple of these Shinas, you climax combo, you plus, and then now your opponent's level 1, but now, if they're running something similar, like, let's say like facing that Unlimited Blade Works, they're running like the 1-0 Shiro, if your Kokomis are too strong for your opponent to deal with, then how are they going to plus and climax combo and whatnot? And if they're running like Shimikaze, how are they going to kill stuff and plus? Because this Kokomi keeps the power until the opponent's turn, or until the end of your opponent's turn. So it's strong on offense, and you get to plus, potentially plus, you probably plus. So strong on offense and potentially plus, and it's strong on defense, which will deny your opponents powerful climax combos at level 1, depending on what series they run. So overall, I think this Kokomi is fantastic. I think it's crazy. Like, I think Girlfriend Beta, okay, let's all admit it. Girlfriend Beta is freaking powerful right now. They did not need this second booster. I don't know what they were thinking, and they're giving them this climax combo. Damn it, Bushiroad, give this to freaking Love Live or something. Shit, I don't know. But overall, super good. Strong on offense, pluses you. Strong on defense, may deny your opponent's climax combos. Overall, super solid, and it's costless. Like, what the heck, man? What the heck? So, I guess I'll stop. I just can't get over it, but it's super strong. I think it's super strong. On to Shining Resonance. 1025R. She's Music and Dragon. She's an assist. She doesn't give any power. However, the characters in front of her gain Hand Encore. As another effect, pay 1, put her to rest. Yeah, it's a brainstorm, so you can mill top 4 cards of your library. For every climax you hit, search your deck for a character with the traits Music or Dragon, show it to your opponent, then add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Every card we've seen by now has either the Music or Dragon trait, or both. So most of the time, when you do brainstorm, you will probably get to search most of your deck, if not your entire deck. Like I said in the previous video, I don't know what the old Shining Force set has to offer, so if they're not Music or Dragons, then I guess you can search for those. But so far, all the new cards at least are Music and Dragon. So this card should be able to hit a lot of good cards in the new set. So not bad. Definitely not a bad card. You know, it's a Brainstormer, a plus Brainstorm, which is really good. And it has the secondary effect of giving your characters in front of her hand Encore. Definitely solid in my opinion. Let's go on. 1045. Weapon and Ninja. I guess the first non-music or dragon character we've seen. Huh, interesting. Anyways, 1045. Beatrice. Weapon and Ninja. Only in common. If you have 5 or more cards in your hand, this card gains plus 2k power. So it will be a 1065 if you have 5 or more cards in your hand. Not a bad card. Shouldn't be too hard having 5 or more cards in your hand, especially because they have the level 1 or the level 0 Yuma that we saw last week that allows you to pay 1, clock yourself to search for level 1 or lower and add it to your hand. If you pull off 1 or 2 Yumas during level 0, then having more than 5 cards in your hand should not be a problem at all. So she'll usually be a 1065, which isn't bad, but do keep in mind she's not a music or ninja, so she doesn't synergize with a lot of these cards like the Excella here, and even the Rena and the Fromage. So she doesn't synergize with the rest of the set, but she's a pretty solid level 1 because she's a 1065, but it may hurt you because, you know, she doesn't synergize with the rest of the set. So because she doesn't synergize with the rest of the set, I guess she's not that good or as good as she could have been if she was Music and Dragon. I mean, I think if she was a Music and Dragon, I think this card would be pretty staple. But she's not, so it becomes a bit more iffy. We'll just have to see. I think we'll have to see what else the set has to offer to see how important the Music and Dragon trait is at level 1. If it isn't all that important at level 1, then like maybe you can run a couple of these. But just the fact that she doesn't synergize with the rest of the set really sucks. So I don't know. I think there'll be better level 1s than this. Maybe not as good as this level 1, perhaps, but they, you know, cards that are pretty good or close to this, but have the Music and Dragon trait, so that may bump them over this Beatrice. So I guess we'll just have to keep an eye. But as of right now, she's an okay card, and she's a common, so you know you can't beat that. Next up, the first Attack on Titan card this week, 00500R Violent Ripples. Violent Ripples? What's up with that? I guess he's got ripples. I don't know. Core and weapon. First of all, he's a 500 global to all core characters, which is really good. And he has another effect of when he's played from hand to stage, choose one of your opponent's character in the center stage, and that character loses 1k power until the end of the turn. The fact that he's a 500 global for all core characters, I think that right off the bat makes him pretty much really good, if not staple, because we haven't seen any other 500 globals at level 0 for Attack on Titan yet. Him being the first one already bumps him up really, really high and really, really good. Since, as we saw last week, all the core characters, or all the core characters are definitely really good. So 500 global for the core characters, already staple in my opinion. But his secondary effect, not the greatest. I mean, if he hit back row, that would be like stupid OP, really good. But he only hits the front row, so definitely not bad. You could, you know, kill something. You can kill something, make something. You can even kill like a level 0. Especially if you use multiple Levi's. Like if you play a Levi, 2 Levi's in the back row. Let's say your opponent has like a 0/0 Kotori from the extra booster, the crappy runner. You can kill that off right off the bat. If you play 2 of these, you might be able to kill a level 0 Suicider. Since level 0 Suiciders are usually 1500 power or 2k power, if you play 2 Levi's, you can kill that. You know, sometimes you might be able to kill something, and if not, at the very least, you can lower something. You can lower a card's power and make it more susceptible to death to your other characters, which is really good. And you know, this Levi, and you know, minus 1000 power isn't like the craziest thing ever, but you know, really good. It works throughout all stages in the game. So overall, this Levi, I think, is super solid and is probably going to be staple. And he's got Violent Ripples, man. You can't beat that. Anyways, let's go on to Wednesday. More Girlfriend Beta, 2-1-8KR Girl and Opera. I guess that's I haven't seen that trade yet. But anyways, this card Climax combos with this 2k1 Soul here. So when this card declares an attack with a 2k1, you can pay cost, which is 2. If you do, all your characters in the front row gain the following ability until the end of the turn, where when the damage of this card is cancelled, you may have your opponent take 1 damage, and of course this damage can be cancelled. Not a huge fan of this card. First of all, she's very low power. She's only 2-1, 8k, so, pretty weak. Second of all, her Climax combo is pretty expensive, because her herself costs 1, so she costs 1, and the Climax combo costs 2. So overall, you can think of it as paying 3 for this Climax combo. But when you do, it's pretty good, because, all your characters gain the Flare Trigger, which can be potentially really scary. But of course, Girlfriend Beta already has some pretty strong Climax combo, like I mentioned when I was talking about the Amari Akari / Yurara combo. Oops, so Girlfriend Beta already has some pretty strong combos, so I don't know if where this one will fit in between all that. Second of all, she's pretty expensive. Third of all, she's only 8k. And lastly, Yellow in Girlfriend Beta already has a lot of good burn cards, or like good Flare Trigger cards. They have the level 3 Musashi, which is the king of, if your opponent cancels, deal X damage. Like, they're the best at that, so they already have that. They have the level 3 Musashi clone. They have the 2-1, or they have the 2-3 changer that also combos with the Wind Trigger, that also, if your opponent cancels, they take 1, and they have the level 2 free refresher that gives your character the ability of when they cancel, they take damage. So, they already have this ability, so I think this one's a little overkill. It's too expensive, and Girlfriend Beta already does have the Flare Trigger ability when it counts, so I don't think this is necessary, and I don't think it'll be ran. So overall, I don't think it's going to be run, and I advise that you don't run it, because if you want to burn people, if you want your opponent to burn when they cancel, just run 4 of those level 3 Musashi clones, and that should be good enough. And they have the free refresher, which is like, what the fuck. Anyways, let's go on. Next up is this 1025R, Ichigo. Her trait's just girl. What she does is first of all, she's the 1k backup. But when you use this card's backup ability and you have 2 or more characters with the girl trait, which they all do, choose one of your characters in battle and it gets power plus X, where X is that character's level times 500. So if you're backing up a level 1, it's a no cost 1500 backup, which is the normal. If you're backing up a level 2, then it's a 102k, which is pretty good. And if you're backing up a level 3, it's a 1025 backup. So overall, a pretty solid backup, cost effective, and it doesn't hit any extraordinary numbers, but for a no cost backup, it hits good numbers, very good numbers for a no cost backup. So overall, I do think this card is very solid. To be completely honest, I don't know the backup lineup for Girlfriend Beta. I don't know if they have any really high power backups. I know they have the anti-change backup, but that's the only backup that comes to my mind. So if they have something better than this, then do let me know. And if they do, then I guess you should run this Ichigo. But as a standalone card, I think this Ichigo is really good. And if they do have something better than this, then damn, even better. But still, overall, I think this card is solid, but if they do have something better, do let me know. Once again, the 2k1, it is a Climax rare. Next up, more Shining Resonance. I guess these are the bad guys. I never played the game, so I wouldn't know. 0025 common, Zest Graham. He's Weapon and God. Oh, okay, so he doesn't synergize with the other guys. So I'm assuming he's the bad guy. Anyways, Weapon and God. What he does is when this card is alone on stage, this card gains plus 1500 power and cannot be reversed by your opponent's auto abilities. Such as, of course, the main one, level 0 Suiciders. Not a bad card. Definitely for first turn, play this guy, and your opponent may have a hard time dealing with him because he's 4k and he cannot be reversed by Suiciders. Some sets are totally dependent on their Suiciders to carry them through level 0, and if they can't do that, then they're kind of boned. So this Zest Graham, definitely not too bad. Of course, like I said with the previous girl, the Beatrice, he lacks the Dragon and Music trait, but I mean, he's a level 0, so if he doesn't synergize with the rest of the set, who really cares, because, he's a level 0. At level 3, him not synergizing with your Music and Dragons isn't that big of a deal, unless there's a card that depends on having X amount of Music or Dragons on the field, which I don't think they do right now. I don't think they have something like that right now. So, as of right now, definitely not a bad level 0 beater. So, I think he's the best level 0 beater we've seen so far. I know Shining Force has a level 0 runner from the comeback campaigns. Right? It was from the comeback campaign, right? I don't know. I know they have a level 0 runner. So that already is really good. Huh. But because I have a level 0 runner, I guess you shouldn't be running this guy. Because he's not really going to be alone on the stage ever if you have a level 0 runner. Huh? I don't know. Oh, wow, that does change things. I mean, for a common, he's pretty good. Because he's 4K and can be reversed by opponent's card abilities. I don't know. For a common, he's pretty good. But he doesn't synergize with the other set, with the other cards, which I don't think is that big of a deal. But they have the runner, so he's never going to really be alone. But he'll probably be alone sometimes. I don't know. If you want to run a couple of these guys, then I guess go for it. I don't know. Overall, he's not bad. Don't really know what... He's not bad. He's not bad at all. But I don't think he's going to be ran. Because, like I said, they have the runner. They have, they have like the cards like the Yuma, which I guess will be on the field. I don't know. I just don't think this card will be ran because I think there'll probably be other better level 0s, and they have the runner. So don't think this card is going to be ran. But for common, he's okay. Yeah. I spent too long on that guy. I'll just leave it at that. Whatever. He's a common. Who cares? Next up, this guy. 2/2, 10k, another common. George Zalbard, excuse me, Weapon and God. During battles involving this card, all players may not use the backup effects. And when this card is placed to reverse by battle, put the top card of your deck to clock and put this card to rest. So he's like the level 1 Sayaka / level 2 Sayaka that forces you to clock yourself and then put him back to rest, which is okay, but not in this situation. He's a 2/2, 2 soul. Both players cannot back up when this guy is fighting, which can be pretty good for you, but can also be pretty bad for you. I don't know if Shining Force has like strong event backups. I don't know if they have any event backups at all, so I'm not too sure how this first ability works with the rest of the set. They do have like good event backups. Then I guess this Zalbard is a little better, but to be honest, I don't think he's good because he's cost 2, and whenever he dies, you clock yourself and you put him back to rest. At level 2, it becomes a little scary, and especially at level 3, you definitely don't want that to happen. So at level 3, he's completely dead, and at level 2, it becomes a little fishy, and probably you don't want to do. And Shining Force has a pretty good level 3. They have that demon guy. I don't know what his name is, but I know he has the demon trait, and you have 6 or more climaxes in your waiting room. If I recall correctly, was it 6 or more climax, or was it if there's 2 of him in the waiting room? I don't exactly remember, but there is a level 3 in Shining Force that came out at level 2, which conditions that aren't too hard to fulfill, and it also healed. So if you're gonna pay, I'd rather play the level 3 at level 2 that healed and didn't force me to clock myself. You know what I'm saying? So overall, they have a better 3 game plan than this 2/2 guy. So this 2/2 guy, don't run him, he sucks. Even if you're not running the level 3 demon guy from the first set, just don't run this guy. He's gonna do you more harm than good. He's common for a reason. Anyways, next up, lastly, Attack on Titan 00. Oh wow, this is a double R. I didn't realize that, but it's pretty good. 00 double R 2/5 core and weapon. Krista. When this card is placed from stage. Wait, when this card is placed on the stage from your hand. Okay, so when it's played from hand to stage. You can pay costs, which is pay 1, clock yourself. If you do, choose a level 1 or lower character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Pretty similar to the Ilburn or the Yuma Ilburn or the Lolo Busters Ricky. You know, these on play, pay 1, clock yourself to search is really good. However, this Krista is different because she can only grab them from your waiting room, which is not as good, especially at level 0 because you may not have the target you want, or you may not have as many targets. So, not as good as, let's say like Inazuma or Ricky, but still pretty solid in my opinion. It's only from the waiting room and you may not have a lot of options, but I'm sure you will be able to grab something. And you still are plussing overall in the end for a very cheap cost, and it can help you get from level 0 or it can help you go from 0-5 to level 1. Let me close my window. There's kids playing outside. Anyways, so overall I think this Krista is pretty good. Not as good or crazy like the Ricky or the Ilburn, but definitely not a bad card. So I do think she will be ran. I think you should run like 2 to 4 of her, and it shouldn't be bad at all. I think it should be good for you. I mean, of course you can manipulate her first effect, like depending on how you mulligan, because in Weiss mulliganing is really good. So you can, like, if you draw into a really good level 1, you can just discard it because you know you can get it back easily with the Krista later into the game in the not too distant future. So of course you can manipulate her. You can clock like a good level 1 because you plan on getting it back when you level up. You can discard it when you mulligan. You can discard it with a pay 1 discard. You know, if you cancel, like you cancel 3 damage, you take 1, 2. Oh, there's a really good target in the second card. 3, cancel, then you can search with her, or you can salvage it back with her. So overall, I think it's, you know, not bad at all. So definitely good. Not as like broken as Ricky, but still pretty good in my opinion. And you should probably run some if you're running Attack on Titan. Next up, Thursday, 217KR, Mei, girl and Wafuku. She has a continuous of she has plus 500 power for every other character with the girl trait on your stage, which is all the damn cards. And climax combos with the gate right here. When this card declares an attack and you have the gate, you can select one character in your waiting room and add it to your hand. This card also combos with the gate, but they don't really work together. So first of all, I'll go over Mei. I think she's pretty good. She's a 2/1 9k, which isn't anything crazy by any means, but her climax combo is pretty solid. Her climax combo, she combos with the gate, and that right off the bat is pretty good. And when she attacks, like, you don't have to pay anything, you get to salvage a character, which is pretty good. So overall, not too bad of a climax combo. They already have a really good gate combo in the previous booster, that combo with the level 3 Chloe, and I don't think they had another gate. So, you know, with this, now they have access to 8 gates, which is really good. So if you want to run the 8 gate build, you could run like the level 3 Chloe still, which I assume is still going to be pretty good, and you can run this Mei along with it. Not as powerful as the Chloe, because, you know, it doesn't really game end, but still not too bad of a climax combo, because if you do run a couple of these Mei, it's not too bad, I guess, because she's a 2/1 9k, and most of the time she should be a 2/1 9k, and when she attacks you get to salvage a character for free, which isn't too bad at all. So overall, not too bad of a card, but nothing too crazy either. But also, this card synergizes with this card as well. So, you know, if you want to run the gate, you can run a couple of these blue girls, and yeah. But anyways, let's go over this card. It's a 1045R Akiho. Her trait is just girl. When any of your other girl characters declare an attack, she gains plus 1k, so she becomes a 1055. And if your other two characters attack, she's a 1065. Once again, she combos with the gate here. When this card declares an attack with the gate, you can pay 1. If you do, search your character with the girl trait, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Another really good card that combos with the gate with another good climax combo, or with another good ability. So her being 1045 isn't anything too crazy, it's actually very weak, but her climax combo, I mean, her first ability helps her leverage that. She'll be a 1065 most of the time on offense, which is okay, but on defense she will, you know, next turn she's probably going to kick the bucket because she's just way too weak for a level 1. However, her climax combo is pretty solid because when you attack, you can pay 1, and you get to search for a girl character and add it to your hand. Definitely not bad, especially comboing with the gate. So overall, her combo isn't too bad either. Just kind of sucks that she's going to die next turn, like 99% of the time, unless your opponent's hand really sucks and they can't get rid of her. Then it's like, you're probably winning. You're probably winning if they can't get rid of her, because she's only 1045. But still, not a bad climax combo, especially because she combos with the gate. So yeah, you know, this gate is good. If you're running like a blue-red variant, running a couple of her shouldn't, you know, it should be pretty good. And if you're running like a mono-red build, if you have enough space and you want to, you can run this Mei, and it shouldn't be too bad either. And you know, it shouldn't be too bad. So overall, some pretty solid cards that combo with the gate. And any card with a solid climax combo with a gate usually isn't too bad, or usually isn't too bad, and it's, you know, pretty viable, and you can run it. These girls are pretty cute too. Anyways, let's go on. 002K common, Agnum, Music, and Dragon. This card cannot declare a side attack, and if you have another character with the assist on the stage, this card gains plus 2K power. So if you have an assist, he's a 004K. However, his downside is he cannot declare an attack, but because he has such high power, that really shouldn't be a problem because he's probably going to be front attacking everything he sees. Not a bad card. Definitely, I think better than, where is he? And this guy, they both hit the same numbers, yes, but he doesn't have to be alone. Or this guy, I'm sorry, Agnum doesn't have to be alone. And he's Music and Dragon, so he synergizes with the other cards, so you can use him with, like, this guy, or you can even discard him, or grab him, or you can guarantee her ability by running this guy instead of Graham. So Agnum, I think, is a better alternative. He needs an assist on the field for him to work, and like I said in the last video when I was evaluating the other 1-0 Ilburn, I don't know if they have a really good assist. So I don't know how good this guy is. But tomorrow, we will see a pretty good assist card. So right off the bat makes this card more viable. I don't know if they have any other good assist, but tomorrow we see a pretty good assist card. So overall, this card is pretty viable in my opinion. And I think it's pretty good. And yeah, for a common, definitely not bad for a common. Maybe they'll get something better because he's only common. We haven't had the series hasn't shown any strong beaters as like an R, like a 0035 or something. I don't know, we'll see. But for a common, definitely not bad, and overall, he's okay. Next up is this guy, 001500 common, Alma, Music and Dragon. What he does is when when this card is placed from stage to the waiting room, you can pay cost, which is pay 1, discard a card. If you do, search your library for up to 1 character with either Music or Dragon, show to your opponent, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. So, generic searcher, he's low powered, but he's a little different from the other generic searcher because he has to be sent from stage to waiting room. So he's a little slower in that regards, which I think is not as good as the stronger on search ones. Like, you know, I rather have the on play pay 1 discard because it's faster. Like, if you want to do the searching immediately, you're gonna have to kill him off by, you know, playing over him because he has to be sent from stage to waiting room. So, you know, not as, you know, a little harder to work around in my opinion. But he does have his benefits because since he has to be sent from stage to waiting room, let's say your opponent attacks you, and then after they're done, when he's sent to the waiting room at the end of your opponent's turn, you can maybe re-evaluate the situation and grab what you need depending on the situation because of stuff like that. And, you know, maybe your last attack was like a book, and then you draw into a book, and then your opponent kills him. Then at the end of his turn, you can pay 1, which was the book, and like you can discard the book. You know what I'm trying to say. So overall, he has his perks. You know, at times it should be pretty good, but overall, I rather have the pay 1 on play searcher. But you know, what can you do? But overall, he's still a searcher in the end, so you can't go wrong with running a couple of this guy. And yeah, you can't go wrong with running a couple of him, probably 2, and you should be okay. Next up, Attack on Titan, and we have a level 3, 10k. She's only an R, 2 soul, Titan trait only. The character in front of this loses 1 soul. When this card declares an attack with the book, and all your other characters are Titans, you can draw a card, and this card gains the following ability until the end of your opponent's next turn. The character opposite of this loses 1 soul. And as another effect of when this card is being front attacked, you can pay cost, which is discard a Titan from your hand. If you do, this card gains plus 2/5 until the end of the turn. Once again, the book is a ClimaxCombo. Overall, I think this card is pretty crappy, pretty weak, but you know, what do you expect? Because the Titan cards are kind of gimmicky at this point. So she has a -1 soul ability in front, which is not very good. I've went over it multiple times in the past, so I'm not going to go over it again. Not that good. She combos with the book, which is okay, but, you know, and her combo isn't bad because you get to draw a card, and the character opposite of it loses another soul for the turn. So she'll be minus 2 soul in front of her for the turn, which isn't too bad. Wait up. Yeah, so they lose 2 soul for the turn, which isn't too bad. It's kind of like Shiroe from Log Horizon, and that can be pretty annoying to deal with, especially like when you have 2 Shiroes in the back and you give 2 of the characters losing 2 soul for the turn. Like, it's kind of like, damn, if I don't have a 1k 1 soul in my hand, or like a plus 2 soul in my hand, or if I don't trigger anything, you might not deal any damage to the Log Horizon player. But this one is ClimaxCombo dependent, so it's not as good. And you can, put a Titan from your hand to the waiting room, and she gets plus 2/5 until the end of the turn. So you can turn any Titan in your hand into a backup, and since when you run her and you want her ClimaxCombo to be successful, you need to have all Titans. So if you're running her, every card in your deck should be Titan. So pretty much you can think of it as discard a character plus 2/5. So yeah, overall pretty weak. It's nothing special. It's not going to help you win the game. It's just going to annoy your opponent. I mean, if you use multiple books per turn, and you have if you have a lot of her in the front row, if you have like 2 or 3 of her in the front row, you play the book, you get to draw multiple times, and your opponent may have a difficult time dealing damage to you in some shape or form. I mean, I guess that can be pretty annoying for your opponent to deal with. But, let's admit it, the Titans are pretty gimmicky. You should be running the core characters in a serious build, and yeah, I mean, I don't really want to evaluate a gimmicky card, but I guess, it's funny, it's cool. It's funny, it's cool, but I'm not a huge fan of this card. So, I mean, I think the last Titan ClimaxCombo we saw last week was pretty hilarious. This one is pretty meh, in my opinion, and it's nothing too scary. Right now, we haven't seen anything like too scary from the Titans, so hopefully they'll get something better, because the cockroaches in Terraformers, I think they did a pretty good job with those guys. They're pretty hilarious, and they're pretty scary sometimes. But so far, these Titans are, they're not too scary. Anyways, let's go on. Friday, the last day. 1045R, Girl and Weapon tree. 4/5. Did I already say that? 1045. Anyways, when she's played from hand to stage, she gains plus 1k for the turn. And she climax combos with the pants. So when the climax, okay, so when you play the pants, you get to search your deck for Everyone's Story Natsume Mahiro, and show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Of course, the Natsume Mahiro is the level 3 right here, 3295 double R 2 soul Natsume Mahiro. She's just a girl trait. She's pretty interesting. So she has a continuous ability of if you have 2 or more yellow characters and 2 or more blue characters on your stage, she loses 1 level in your hand. When she's played from hand to stage, you get to heal, and when this card declares an attack with the pants, until the end of your opponent's next turn, this card gains plus 2k power, and the character opposite of this loses 1 soul for the turn. Once again, the pants. Man, this girl's really cute. Anyways, sorry, how to do this? I guess first off we should go over the level 3, because if the level 3 sucked, then there's no point running this girl, But anyways, the level 3, she herself is pretty interesting. So she can't come out at level 2. I mean, Girlfriend Beta already had a card like this in every color in the previous booster. However, last booster, you needed a full field of monocolor. Like, if you had a full field of yellow, loses 1 level. Have a full field of red, loses 1 level. If you have a full field of blue, loses 1 level. But this one is a bit different. You need to have 2 or more yellow, and you need to have 2 blue. So if you have 2 yellow, you need to have exactly 2 yellow and exactly 2 blue characters on your stage for her to gain her minus 1 level in your hand. And so far, I mean, yellow-blue, the combination it's not bad at all. Last week we saw the level 2, the 2-1-10k, if you had a yellow and blue in your level up zone, I believe. And that's already pretty good. I mean, yellow as a core is pretty strong. They have like level 1s. They have level 0 Suicider. They have a strong level 1 climax combo. Heck, even blue has a strong level 1 climax combo. Where is that stupid combo? They have this crap. So, blue and yellow by themselves aren't weak colors at all. So, depending on your deck and depending on the build, you can definitely manage this first ability. And like I said, it doesn't seem like yellow. It seems like yellow and build isn't going to be a bad combination. If anything, I think it's going to be a pretty good combination. So, her first ability, I don't think it's too hard to get off. Just honestly, really depends on your build. And if you do get her off at level 2, I think she's pretty good. She heals on play. So she heals, she's 9-5 body, a little weaker than the other. She's 2 soul, which isn't bad. But when you do climax, if you manage to climax combo, then she gains plus 2k, which is, so she'll be 11-5 until the end of your opponent's turn. And the character in front of them loses 1 soul for the turn, which, like I said, isn't bad either. Especially having minus 1 soul at level 2, if your opponent's level 2, I'm assuming, can be really difficult for them to deal with, because if they don't have a 2 soul beater, or they don't play a 1k 1 soul, or they don't trigger, they might not deal any damage to you for the turn. And if they do manage to deal some damage to you, I mean, you're negating the damage by 1. And at level 2, taking 1 less damage, I think, is a pretty big deal. So the climax combo, I think this combo is really good at level 2. However, at level 3, I do think this card becomes a little lackluster, because it heals, which is great, I guess. She's weak. She's only 9-5, and at level 3, her climax combo is a little weak. She's only like, yeah, she gains the extra power, so she'll be 11-5, or she'll be 12-5 on offense. But on defense, she'll be 11-5, but then she gains the minus 1 soul. And at level 3, having the minus 1 soul ability, of course, isn't as good, because all your opponent's level 3s have at least 2 soul. So, definitely, at level 3, she becomes a little weak. And at level 2, she's okay. Like, if you get her off at level 2, and you combo with her, I think it's good. But if you get her off at level 2, and you don't combo with her, then, you know, I don't think she's that good. Like, it's just like whatever, you know. She's only a 3-2-9-5 vanilla card at that point if you don't combo with her. So if you don't combo, she's pretty weak, but if you do, it's pretty good. But then at level 3, no matter what, she's pretty mediocre. So, you know, overall, I don't think it's very good. Especially if you're running yellow-blue. Like, if you're running yellow-blue, like I said in the previous video, I don't really know what blue has to offer, but I know a lot about yellow. Not a lot, I know okay amount about yellow. At yellow, they have like the Musashi level 3, which is always going to be good for a pretty long time. So they already have that. They have like the other level 3 healer that we saw last week that can gain power and, you know, push for extra damage. You know, at level 3, there's better options than this card, and I'm sure blue has better options than this at level 3 as well. And overall, I don't think this card is very good. And at level 2, if you're running the yellow-blue variant, you'll have the level 2 card that's a 2-1-10k if you have a yellow and blue card in your level up zone. So her being 2-1-10k, she only attacks for 1 soul, yes, but she's 500 power higher than this. She only costs 1, doesn't really have much conditions, because you only need to have a card, you know, your level up zone is what dictates her ability, and once you fulfill that condition, it's really easy to do. So the last card, you know, I'm just going to pull out that card from last week. Why not? Since we're talking about it. Let's go find it. In case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm sure the people who watch this are consistently the same guys who watch it. Anyways, just to be safe, I'm gonna pull it up. Sorry, I should have done this beforehand. Anyways, I think this one's a lot better, because experience of a yellow and blue character, she gets plus 4-5, so she'll be a 2-1-10k. So she hits higher power than her, she's much cheaper, her conditions are easier to fulfill if you're running the yellow-blue variant, and, like, you know, she's only level 2, and that's just insane. And she's cheaper, she's only uncommon, and she's double R, you know? So, I like what they're trying to do with it, but honestly, I think there are much better alternatives to this card. I think she's really cute though, but, you know, I think there's better alternatives. So, because I say that, I mean, yes, she does have this 1-0. This 1-0 pretty much searches for this level 3 for free, because when she's played from hand to stage, she gets plus 1k, so she's a 105k, 5-5 for the turn. And when you play the pants, then you get to search for the level 3 for free, which is really good. Like I said, these 1-0 climax combos that are cost effective are really good right now, but, you know, let's be honest, Girlfriend Beta already has really good ones. If you're running yellow, you could run the 1-0 that combo with the stock 1 soul in the previous booster. And if you're running, since you're running yellow-blue, if you're running this combo, we already have the really good Climax combo that we saw on Tuesday that's in blue, that's also very cost effective. So overall, like, this combo is good because it generates your hand size for free, but I think, you know, Girlfriend Beta already has good ways to generate hand size. So overall, I think there's better alternatives. Like, there's better hand generating combos, and there are better level 3s. So overall, this, like, Wombo combo, don't think it's very good, unfortunately. And the Pants is a Climax rare, if I forgot to mention that. Lastly, the pretty good assist that I was talking about. So I don't know what the other previous set has to offer, but this assist alone is pretty good. It's a 00500R Music and Dragon, 500 in front assist, and it has the resonance ability of show a card named Yuma Ilburn from your hand, put this card to rest. So during the start of your Climax phase, put this card into stand, then you may pay the cost. During the start of your Climax phase, put this card into stand, then you may pay cost. I think this is a typo. I think it should be during your start of your Climax phase. If this card is in stand, you may pay cost, because the cost is you have to put this card to rest. So yeah, I think it's just a typo. So during the start of Climax phase change, if this card is in stand, you may pay cost, which is pay 1, show the Yuma Ilburn in your hand, and then put this card to rest. If you do, search a card named Song of Blessings Kirika, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. No, this card is... Oh, very nice, thank you. I should have done that earlier, but that makes it a lot easier. Thank you very much for doing that. Anyways, this is the Yuma Ilburn. I talked about him last week, and I think he's super good and super overpowered. And because the Yuma is, like, super good, this pushes the resonance ability, like, super playable, you know? If you're gonna be running the Ilburn no matter what, in my opinion. So her pulling off her resonance ability should be, you know, really easy to do. So when you resonance, you get to bring the level 3 to your hand. The level 3, this is level 3. It's a 3/2 9k R 2 soul Music and Dragon. Her ability is when you have 2 or more cards named Kirika, Towa, Alma, which is the assist right here. This card loses 1 level in your hand. As another effect, this card gains plus 1k power for every other character which has assist on your stage. And lastly, it heals. So this card also synergizes with the Towa, or the Alma, or the Kirika. I'll just call her Alma. So she synergizes with the Alma pretty well. So I guess first off, the level 3, it's you know, she's very weak power. However, she can come out at level 2, which is good. She also heals at level 2, which is good. And also she gets plus 1k for every other character which you have assist on the stage. Of course, since her conditions is you need 2 of the Alma on your stage, assuming you have 2 of these in your back row, then she will be 3 to 11k before assist, which is really good. So and you know, that's all she really does. She's a 3 to 11k body that heals at level 2, which is not bad at all. And she's really cute. Dang, she's only an R? That's good. So she's only an R. Man, we haven't seen any double R level 3s in this set, have we? Last week we only saw another R level 3. Man, they are holding back the double Rs. Anyways, Kirika, definitely not bad for an R, especially for an R. I mean, yeah, I mean, she's nothing like too crazy, but she's not bad. But at level 3, she's pretty lackluster because she's only like a healer with pretty high power, which isn't the greatest thing ever. But at level, but you know, at that point, I think she's done her job because she came out at level 2, she healed you, and you get to push for extra damage. So overall, I think this Kirika is pretty good, definitely solid. But damn, she is really cute. So, you know, if I ran Shining Force, I'd be making a deck with her. But anyways, because I think the level 3 is pretty solid, I think the level 0 is, of course, you know, you have to run the 2 together. There's no point running level 3 without the level 0 assist. So definitely the level 0 assist is the level 0 assist itself is pretty solid. It's a 500 in front assist, and it resonates with a really good card. It already resonates with a really good card. And all you have to do is pay 1, show the Yuma, and then you get to grab the level 3. So, you know, super easy to fulfill this combo. And the combo, and when you pull the level 3, she heals. It's super cute. and pushes for damage, and it's high power. So overall, a very good combo in my opinion. And the two of them are just R's. So like if you're trying to be like a budget player, then it should be pretty good. And she's really cute. So what's not to love? So yeah, I guess I'll just leave it at that. But that is all for this week. Damn it, another 1 hour video. If you guys are still with me, once again, thank you very much for watching these 1 hour sessions. But I don't know. I try to keep it short, but I feel like when I do, I don't mention everything I want to say, and I really don't like doing that. I've already done multiple takes of this, and I try to do them shorter, but when I rewatch them, I just don't like how it is, so I do apologize. I mean, I try to keep it short, but I just can't bring myself to do it. So overall, thank you if you're still with me, but overall, a very interesting week for both sets. This Akari, I mean, like, Girlfriend Beta, they got some pretty interesting cards. I just don't think they're better than the previous cards. I mean, the previous cards they had in the last booster were just so powerful. The new booster, it's kind of hard to compete with the last booster, you know what I'm saying? Like this Akari combo, I think it's cool. I like what they're trying to do with the dual color, the shenanigans, but I think the other combos are better. These two cards are not bad, and this card is really cute. So not a bad combo, or not too bad tech cards. Tuesday, I think there's better Suiciders. I think this combo is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. This Excella, pay 1 brainstorm, always good. Oh, she has the assist text as well, so she synergized. Oh man, oh dang, I just realized. Since she works with the assist cards, huh? Assist, support. I mean, it's pretty much an assist, right? Yeah, I mean, it says support, but I'm sure this is an assist. So this card also synergizes with the level 3. Damn, that's pretty good. You can give your assist hand encore. That's pretty good. And also do keep in mind, this brainstorm is you only rest herself. So if you do want a residence, you can, because sometimes plus brainstorms are pay 1, tap 2 characters, but since she only taps herself, you can brainstorm and residence same turn. Just something to keep in mind. But definitely a good card. Not too sure about this one. Violent Ripples Levi, very good. Not too good. I think it's good. Not too good. Not too good. Not too good. Pretty good, or not pretty good. It is good. May, not bad. This girl, not bad at all. Too. The gate combo, of course, makes them all not bad. This guy is okay, especially if we're running 4 of her. Then I guess it shouldn't be too hard. But hopefully there'll be better ones. But as of right now, he's okay. This guy, not the I rather have to on play, but you got to do what you got to do. So I would say he's pretty stable. And I'm not a huge fan of this Titan combo. And I mean, I like what they're trying to do with this combo here, but I think there are just better alternatives. And this Kirika, man, she is too cute. Too cute. So I like this combo, but I might be a little biased because I think she's really cute. Man, I should play this game for her. I don't know, it's only Japan, I can't read a thing. But anyways, overall, super cute, and I think it's good. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, like I said, thank you very much if you guys are still here. Like I said, I'm not a Girlfriend Beta professional or a Shining Force master, so if I am missing anything, do let me know in the comments below. And I've spoken long enough, and I'm losing my voice, so I'll leave it at that, and until next time, guys.